Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the HYSapientia 24 litre air fryer oven. And what I want to do today is show you around the oven, some of the features and benefits that it offers. What I also want to do, after getting it unboxed, is to have a quick go with it. Because at this time of recording, it's actually quite early in the morning and I've got some breakfast to cook. So, anyway, what I need to do first of all, I'm just going to go get some scissors and we need to start getting the air fryer oven unboxed. So, let's have a look. Now, I always like to unbox products when I'm recording. I never like to, I suppose, undo them beforehand. Not really sure why. I think it's just something that I've always tended to do. I always try and make sure that the videos I make are quite honest, that I'm not almost doing my research beforehand on things like this. I quite like to learn as I go along. So what I will do, here we go, it's very well packaged. So I could almost do with another pair of hands here, but the only safe way to do it on your own is turn it upside down. There we go. Clearly I shouldn't have taken that bit of tape off. That was holding everything together. Now, let's put the box to one side. And let's try and do it gently. Okay, I don't want to break anything. So, good range of accessories here. I had a quick look beforehand, and this is really a fantastic design. So, what it can do looks pretty awesome. There we are. So, one 24 litre air fryer oven, unboxed. I will be honest, a little bit disappointing as far as the recyclability. Quite a few manufacturers are going along the more recyclable packaging route. So polystyrene clearly is one of the safest way to send products. So I don't blame them for doing that. But as I say, I'm always honest when it comes to feedback and product videos. If I think something isn't any good, then I will always say it. So we are almost there. Just get the polythene bag off. There we go. Now I must say, if this was sat in your kitchen, personally I think that looks absolutely stunning. It's really nice stainless steel finish. We've just got a little bit of transit tape on the front here. That's always good. I know it's very well packaged anyway, but it's just nice to keep the door shut while it's moving. And there's just a small cover there, just covering the display. So again, I think that looks absolutely brilliant. Nice pull down door. So as far as the dimensions on the oven, and you're looking at, I need to stand up for this. So you're looking around 42 centimeters wide, or just under 16.5 inches wide. The height of it is 38 centimeters, or around 15 inches. And then the depth of it, so front to back, going to the very back, because there is a little piece on the back that just sticks out. So it's important to get that in as well. If you go into the very front, then only 34 centimeters deep, or just over, about 13.25 inches. And if you're going to include the handle, then you look around 39 centimeters, or just under 15.5 inches. So it is important to just make sure it fits in the space, because what you don't want to do is to buy this, or I suppose any appliance, whether it's an oven, air fryer, microwave, anything like that, you just want to make sure it fits in the space before you buy it. So now I've measured the external dimensions, I will just show you the internal dimensions as well. I must say I really like that door. I do like appliances where it's got quite a, it's not a heavy door by any means, but it just feels quality. I have spoke about one or two other products, and we've had one or two products in the showroom where the door feels really light. But no, I genuinely do really like that. Anyway, so the internal dimensions, you're looking around 32 centimetres. Yeah, 32 centimetres, around 12 and a half inches. The height, so the height you're looking at 18 centimetres, around 7 inches. And then the depth, so front to back, around 30 centimetres or around 12 inches. I have just unpacked some of the other accessories. There's a good range of accessories it comes with. I do like that. That's it's like just a little oven mitt, I suppose it's called. I'm not quite sure what would you call that. So if you're going to go get something out of the oven, what would you call that? I've got a separate one in my kitchen that we use. It is, I suppose we call it an oven mitt or an oven glove. But what do you call that? It's the little things like that that do make a difference. That's, you know, what they've done is they've thought of how to make life easier for people. I don't think there's much else it doesn't do. You know, by the look of the side of the box, there's a huge range. It's like a 10-in-1 multi-function for our oven. This. So this is part of the rotisserie. We've got the handle for the pan. What else have we got? So we've got an oven shelf. Let's pop that. Just put that in there. And move that out of the way. So that just slots in there. Now you've got the only thing to mention. When I first took it apart, that it's held together with some little plastic tags. It's really important to take those off. You just need to cut them off. I'd hope there's nobody that's just put those in without taking the tags off, because clearly when it gets hot in there, they're going to melt. But you've got different shelf positions in here. So hopefully you can see that. You've got the 3 different shelf positions for that shelf, and then you've got the pan and the air fryer rack as well. So clearly, depending on what you're cooking, will depend on what you're actually going to put it on. If you're doing things like bacon, then clearly you're not going to put it on the air fryer rack, at least without having something underneath. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cook some bacon at some point, because that's the breakfast that I've got. But all of these will slot in nicely. And as I mentioned, you've got the 3 different shelf positions, and all of these are really strong. You know, considering the price of this, I'm really impressed with the accessories it comes with as well. So all of those can slot in there. You wouldn't necessarily need all 3 in there, but at least the accessories that you've got, when you're not using it, you can store them inside. That's something I get quite passionate about, when not so much, well, partly with the oven, but also things like vacuum cleaners. With all the accessories they come with, if they don't provide a storage device, then that gets really frustrating, because what you end up doing is just putting them in a safe place, and that safe place, they always get lost. But at least, you know, they've thought about this. But I suppose what I want to do is I want to get it plugged in and start to have a look at the display and everything it offers now. So now I've got it plugged in, you'll see it just says off on the display there. So clearly what we need to do is to turn it on. Now, first of all, I'm really impressed with the display. It's something I comment on quite a few of my YouTube videos. The display on products. Some products, I must say, I really don't like the display. I'm not too keen on things like reds and green displays. I think they're quite difficult to read. But when it's a nice, clear, white LED display like that, then it's just so much easier to read. And personally, I think it complements the design of the oven. Now, you will find that you do get a really good instruction book, but you've also got a recipe book as well. Now, this, I'd recommend having a look through this, because there's quite a really good range of different recipes that you can do. Apart from recipe ideas, then you've got tips as well to get the best out of it. And I think that's always good. It's always a good idea just to have a quick read through the recipe guide, just to give you some tips to start with. And then I suppose as time goes on, then you'll be a lot more au fait with it. The instructions, it just shows you how to use it. It's always recommended when you first get the oven. I'd always recommend just giving the racks a quick wash. It's something I've always done, and it is recommended in the instructions as well. Just give them a quick wash, give them a dry, and then they're ready to use. You will notice that you've got a good range of different icons on the front here. Now what these do, this really depends on what you're cooking, and it makes it very flexible to use. So I'll just run through these. So the first one is the bread setting, and to change it between the different settings, then you just rotate the dial. You will notice that it sings a little song to you. To be honest, I quite like that. So first of all, you've got the bread setting, then cake, then fish, dehydrate, chicken, French fry, then you've got warm, steak, pizza, and then the rotisserie as the final one on there. And what you can do for each one, so if I just show you on this, for each one, it'll give you the time of the program and then the temperature. Clearly this is very flexible, because if you wanted to put something in, so if you didn't want to cook bread as such, if you just wanted to put something in the oven, then you can clearly change that. And all you need to do is you've got the time on here, so you press the time and that will just adjust the time that you want it on for. So if I want it on for say 25 minutes, then just press that, so rotate the dial to that. Temperature wise, so very, very flexible. So it goes up to 230 degrees centigrade, that's the maximum it can go to, and then it starts off at 60. So again, really impressive range of temperatures. You have actually got a light inside, so if you want a light in there, then you can see what you're cooking or air frying. I must say again, I do like that. Just love it. It's like the other oven glove. You know, for me, it's the little things that just make it a fantastic product. But if you don't want the light on, then just turn it off. And then once you're ready, so once you've selected that, if you've selected that you want to cook something for 25 minutes, let's just change the temperature. So if we were to put it on, say 190 degrees, then once you're ready and that's what you want to do, then just press the start button and it will start to heat up. And you will notice that the fan within the product isn't that noisy. It's something that is quite a bugbear for me, having noisy kitchen appliances. But yeah, again, very impressive, because genuinely this is the first time I've switched this on. I haven't tried it, I've not tested it beforehand. So listening to that, hopefully you can hear it through the microphone, but if that was in my kitchen permanently, then that would not be a worry as far as the noise level for me. Something else to mention, on some of the programs you can actually adjust the fan speed either high or low. So on this one, the first one, the toast setting, you won't be able to do it, but as you go to some of the other settings, then you've got the flexibility of raising or lowering the fan speed. And clearly if you increase the fan speed, that will speed up cooking, but sometimes you don't want it to cook too quickly. So again, I'm really glad that we've got the option on here to change that. Anyway, I think personally, enough talking, because I think I've covered a lot of the smart programs that are on here. So what I want to do is I've actually got a piece of bread here. The first test I want to do is just to try some bread. I want to toast it. So I'm going to select the first option on here, and as we open it, so out of the 3 racks, so you've got the different options, and that will clearly depend on what you're going to cook. I'll just show you this, because I have been having a look at some of the instructions that come with it. You've got a really good comprehensive guide. I'll just stand back a little bit. It's a really good comprehensive guide that comes with it, and that's showing you what is recommended as far as each of the accessories. So you've got all these complementary accessories at the top here. Just to show you over here, you have got some optional accessories as well. So there's quite a few different ones you can get, including a panini maker mould. There's a kebab rotary rack, that sounds really good. And then there's a rolling grill basket. So that's really good, the rolling grill basket. I suppose the main advantage is that it's rotating and cooking at the same time. Clearly that's what the rotisserie is doing, but with the grill then it just saves burning one side or overcooking one side. So that could be a really good one to look at. But what I was getting at is that it will recommend the certain foods and the certain accessories to use with it. So just pop that down a moment. So for this one, for the toast, it has selected this one, the oven rack. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise it up, because clearly we want to pop it on there. I'm going to put under, because clearly I don't want to get any mess at the bottom. So I'm going to put that underneath, just to make sure that any bits that drop through, it's just much easier to tidy it up and to clean it from underneath there than having to wipe at the bottom. So you have got the crumb tray as well. So as you can see, there's a couple of crumbs on it already, but that's easy to take out. Just go and clean. These are dishwasher safe as well, so if you didn't want to hand wash them, you can just pop them in the dishwasher, which personally I think is always important. But I think enough talking and a bit more cooking now. So we shut the door, and you will see that on the front there it does say open, so it won't do anything. I can't start cooking until I've actually shut the door, which is always a really good idea. So I've got everything set now. All I want to do is to shut the door, and I've already got it on the toast setting. It's at the highest temperature, so I'll just show you the temperature on there. So if I was to go any higher, then it goes back down to 60 degrees. That's as high as it goes, 230, only 5 minutes. I will need to keep a close eye on it, because I don't want it to burn one side, but it'll be really interesting to see how it cooks. But let's have a look. Clearly the fan is on, so it's going to circulate the air around the oven. But I think we just need to get going, so I'm going to press start. So now the program's finished. Clearly it says end. There was a nice little ding at the end. Just tell us, I quite like that. And it's just saying hot. So let's see. So I'm just using this to remove the rack. Let's just have a quick look. So people like the toast differently. Personally, I quite like it probably a little bit more done than that. But you will see, hopefully you can hear that. But the main thing for me, with a traditional grill, you would need to turn it over partway through. But with this, because it's within the oven and with the circulating of the air, then what it's done is it's actually cooked it both sides. And I suppose if I was to cook it for a couple of minutes longer, then that would toast it quite nicely both sides. And it has done it really well. I'd say it's just about a minute or so. Tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in. Let's use this. I love it, absolutely love it. Pop that in there, don't want to burn my fingers. So I've just got the same setting. I'd keep it on the toast setting. What I will do is I think I'm just going to reduce that. Okay, so 5 minutes is the minimum, but I'm going to keep it on that temperature and just start it again. There we go. I just love how easy it is to work. So it's been on for another couple of minutes. I am just going to have a look. Oh, look at that. Now for me, that is absolutely perfect. Hopefully you can see that. So it's lovely and crispy. That is not cooked too much. And the advantage is that it is cooked both sides. So in theory, when you're cooking toast and things like that, you can turn it over if you want to. If you wanted a very even cooking across it. But personally for me, that is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, really, I suppose the toast and I will eat that in a moment. The toast was always a trial. For me, it is the bacon. So I want to cook some bacon now because, well, first of all, it's quite early in the morning. I'm really hungry and I know how, well, hopefully I can see how well this is going to perform. So what I want to do is let's place the bacon on here. So it does say to use this rack. I perhaps should have thought about this a bit better beforehand. Anyway, let's right, here we go. So I've put the bacon on the rack here. I am going to select, let's pop it in, just put that in there for a second. I'm going to put that to the bottom. And I'm going to move this to the middle one. There we go. I should really do this at the front, but I can't. I'm just trying not to touch the bacon with anything. Right, so I've put that in the middle. Now, what we want to do, we're not interested in the toast setting now, so let's stop that. That's it, so that's just cancelled the program there. So now I've got the bacon in there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go wash my hands, because clearly I've just handled raw bacon. So I'll just be back in a moment. Right, so now I'm back. I've got nice clean hands. I must admit, I hate cooking or do anything with dirty hands. But anyway, so what I want to do is, there's not really anything in the instructions that says how to cook the bacon. So what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to go to the nearest setting. So that's the chicken setting. It's really a case of trial and error. And I suppose it's the same with any product that you buy, whether it's a small oven like this, or whether it's a main oven, a microwave. The way everything cooks will be quite different. Clearly the main advantage of something like this, the small oven, compared to a main freestanding cooker, is that because it's a much smaller area, then it's going to heat up a lot quicker. And especially when you're cooking small amounts of food like this, like the 4 rashers of bacon, then because it's only heating up a much smaller area, then it's going to be a lot more energy efficient. And that's really why people are buying this kind of product. So now I've selected that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce it no, tell you what, I'm going to leave it on 230 degrees C. That's the setting that's on there. I will leave the fan speed as high. So really it's a case of let's get going and see how we get on. So it's been on for a handful of minutes. I just want to see how everything's doing. You can hear it sizzling away in there, which is always a good sign. All I want to do is I'm just going to see if I need to turn it over. And you don't have to really, because it is cooking evenly both sides. But I think it does appear to be cooking a little bit more one side. So what I'm going to do is just to turn those over, pop them back in, and let's get going again. So let's see how we're getting on. I know clearly we're not going to need as long to cook as the chicken would do, but that, personally, I think that is looking absolutely fantastic. So I never like my bacon cooked too much, but that is looking really awesome. I've already prepared a couple of cobs. How do you like your bacon? Do you like it nice and crispy, or do you like it like this, where it's cooked? So clearly that's ready to eat. Just make sure I don't tip it over. So do you like it like that, or do you prefer it nice and crispy? What's your ideal setting? So let's just take that out. Let's use the little mitt to get to the back. So that is my breakfast sorted. I must say that is looking absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to enjoy my breakfast now while it's still hot. Once I finish this, then I'll show you some of the maintenance tips. So now I've finished my bacon. I hope I'm not getting any sauce around my mouth, because that would really be embarrassing. Anyway, this is all cooled down now. So You can still see it's got the time remaining on here. Let's just turn that off. There we go. Nice little ding at the end. I really love that. But when it comes to cleaning the oven, it's really easy. All of these racks can come out. As I mentioned earlier, these are dishwasher safe. So if you can either go and hand wash them or just pop them in the dishwasher. I suppose what's really good, and I'll just show you this, that the bacon, I know it's still a little bit warm, so the fat is on there rather than sitting on a tray when I cooked it. And I must say, the bacon that I had was absolutely lovely. It didn't taste greasy at all. I know sometimes if you cook it on a tray, then you're cooking it within its own fat. That's not very healthy. And that's where having the tray underneath can really help. I know there's a little bit more washing up involved. Clearly I've got two items, two accessories to wash, but I think that's really worth it for the health benefit anyway. Let's just pop that to the side, and I can take this rack out as well. So they're just ready to be washed. But inside here, as I say, it's nice and easy to keep clean. What you can do is you can take the crumb tray out, so that can come out, and as I mentioned earlier, that can be dishwasher. It's dishwasher safe, so you just pop it in there or just wash it in hot soapy water. When it comes to the actual maintenance inside, there's not really a lot to do. There's not a huge amount to clean, but I'd just recommend getting a hot soapy cloth. Just give it a wipe round. You don't need any more than that. Also, the front here, you've got a couple of screws that you can remove the glass to take that out to clean. So just before I go and start to wash up these items, I just really want to say that I'm really impressed with this. I know I talk about products, but hopefully if you follow me on YouTube for a while, I normally try and be honest with what I'm talking about. If I don't like something, then I'll normally say it. But I'm actually really impressed, and I suppose there are a couple of reasons. First of all, things like the build quality. I love the stainless steel finish. Just the whole menu structure on here, it's nice and easy to operate. Things like the capacity inside, so you're looking at 24 litre capacity. If you are comparing them to other air fryers or mini ovens like this, then have a look at the capacity, because you will find that it's something that I personally think is quite overlooked. People are buying air fryers left, right and centre, especially some of the double drawer ones. We sell absolutely loads of them at our showroom, but what we do find is that some people comment afterwards, not really complain, but it's just a comment that on some of the sort of 9.5 litre models that they wish they'd gone for something a little bit bigger. And that's why, personally, I think going for one with a much larger area inside or much larger capacity is really the way to go. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know there's a huge amount I could cover. I could cook all day long. I must admit I haven't really got time to do that. But what I wanted to do was to give you an overview of the functions and everything it does. I've given you a couple of demonstrations with the toast and the bacon. I must say, bacon was absolutely fantastic. But all I normally say is I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave any comments on the video, whether you enjoyed it, whether you didn't enjoy it, whether you came here to have a look and if I've not covered it. If you've got any questions on it, then just pop it in the comments. Also, if you have got one of these, then let me know what you think, because I'd always appreciate the feedback. Thanks for watching.